Hello, hello, hello. So while this thing's loading up, a very good evening to all of you. At least it's evening in my time zone in the United Kingdom. And today let's just touch upon something that a lot of people have been speculating about, especially if you are in the crypto space, and you must have read the title by now. Bitcoin could hit $100,000, that is $100,000 in 2022. But here's what you need to know. And in this brief talk, I'm going to cover a couple of topics related to the crypto space, starting with a brief introduction to the wild, unpredictable, and sometimes utterly insane world of Bitcoin price actions. Bitcoin price actions are crazy. And with that, I'll move to the overview of the 2021 situation, which has been absolutely wild, bipolar almost. Then I'm going to come on to my own territory, which is data science, and look at forecasting Bitcoin prices based on historical price action. I'll examine the caveats of my own approach, and then see if social media can help get a pulse of Bitcoin moves. So now, while this has been a year of crazy Bitcoin price actions, it has also been the year for when social media actually drove the markets. Example, the GameStop frenzy. Why experts think that touching 100,000 is on the cards. Yes, I'll touch upon that. And then we'll look at the fly in the ointment, because, there are people out there who think Bitcoin could go bust. So this is something worth bearing in mind in case you're interested in investing in Bitcoins, which a lot of people are, myself included. But first things first, disclaimer warnings. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a data scientist, as you all know. This presentation is for educational purposes only. And no part of this presentation can be construed as financial advice. It's a combination of information already out there, my own forecasting analyses, and what other experts in the field are talking about. And hopefully that will give you a better idea of where Bitcoin may be heading, and if that's something you're interested in. So, Bitcoin has had a tumultuous journey, and that's just putting it quite mildly, and has survived many doomsday warnings. It's almost like the cat with 9 lives, or the Bitcoin has more than 9 lives. So, now some of the things that have been said about Bitcoin include Bitcoin is a fraud that will blow up, and that was what the JP Morgan boss said in 2017, and back then in 2017, 2018, so many people, regrettably myself included, believed that Bitcoin was, a thing for the dark web and drug dealers in North Korea. Why the price of Bitcoin is going to fall to zero, and other harsh criticisms of cryptocurrency. And this came from the people who had warned about the 2008 crisis. So, very knowledgeable people. And historically, the Bitcoin market corrections, they have been horrific. I've taken this table from a peer-reviewed paper, Bitcoin Mania, published by Tessin Oskoi. And historically, BTC markets, Bitcoin markets, have had corrections of more than 50%. So in 2012, it was a correction, which means a steep decline of 49%. And there have been even corrections of more than 80%, so 83% in 2013 and 87% in 83% and 87% in 2013 both, and again almost a 60% decline in 2017. So these are pretty steep market corrections. You rarely get this in other sectors. And this has been the historical Bitcoin price action from 2016 to 2021. I obtained the data from Bitstamp, which is a very renowned crypto exchange, and as you can see, it started from 2016. There was a jump up in 2017, late 2017, 2018, sharp decline. Again, a jump up in 2019, 2020, and then in 2020, late 2020, things went absolutely wild, and that's when so many people came on board, myself included, and it went up all the way to crossing 60,000 in the earlier part of 2021 before plummeting down. So this is one hell of a ride. So what happened in 2021? So late 2020, early 2021 saw a sharp increase in Bitcoin prices, and with Bitcoin touching all-time new highs of 60,000 US dollars in 2021, but the party ended. Now, May 19 saw a crypto Black Wednesday, and there was a 30% plunge in the Bitcoin prices. So you can see starting from January 2021, the prices, they kept on crawling up all the way to 60,000, and then plummeting to below 50,000. And some analysts believe it was Elon Musk's tweets relating to not accepting Bitcoin payments. So earlier in the year, Elon Musk said that they were going to, in February 2021, Elon Musk said that they were going to accept prices like Bitcoins for Teslas, and starting from February all the way till March, there had been a pretty sharp increase in Bitcoin prices, maybe a decline here. But then in May 2021, Elon Musk said that Tesla is not going to accept Bitcoins. So saying that not accepting Bitcoins as a payment, it contributed to a sell-off. The way saying that accepting, what he said in February 2021 drove up the prices. There have been a lot of other movements in the Bitcoin space. Specifically, China is imposing strict restrictions on Bitcoin mining. You have restrictions coming out of India. You have Binance, which is facing a regulatory crackdown in the United Kingdom. So all of these have dragged down the prices. So what's new in the Bitcoin landscape? I mean, clearly it's a highly volatile asset where the prices go up, they went down, and 2021, I mean, this whole period, why is it any different? Why are we even talking about it? Because Bitcoin has gone mainstream, and it's grappling with the challenges which come with the territory of going mainstream. So, Bitcoin hits record on Tesla investment. So while Elon Musk is the Bitcoin daddy, he's a late entrant to the field. He also entered the field in 2021, same as me, but he entered with $1.5 billion, unlike me. So starting from 2020, there has been a steep upward rise for Bitcoins. So you had the COVID fears hitting the markets in March 2020, and then there was that cut down in supply of coins. So again, the price started increasing steadily. In October 2021, PayPal, it opened its network to cryptocurrency. So I think PayPal got on the scene before Elon Musk, but Elon Musk gets talked about more. Then it was the Elon Musk driven mania till there was a collapse. So this has been and this is just starting from March 2020 to Jan 2021. So there has been a steady increase with sharp declines. And again, now the news of the crackdown in China sent the Bitcoin prices plummeting all over again. But then Bitcoin, now what is different now is that Bitcoin has caught the fancy of big institutional players, including JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and even blue chip companies like MicroStrategy and Tesla. It seems Tesla is back on the bandwagon. And yes, now to answer that question, Bitcoin prices could rise to 100K in 2022. And this is something I'm very proud of, the forecasting analyses of the Bitcoin prices I did using the historical price action from 2016 to 2021. And Facebook's profit algorithm supports forecasting of univariate time series. That's what I used. So this is the profit-based Bitcoin price forecasting. I took you saw my data beforehand. I took those data, applied the Facebook profit based Bitcoin, the forecasting tool, and that tells me that by 2022 Bitcoin should be heading very close to 100K. So, and the profit algorithm, it supports the forecasting of univariate time series based on an additive model where non-linear trends are fit with yearly, weekly, and seasonality effects. So, it captures the price action starting from 2016. Based on that, the forecast is, and based on the price action, it's only, and that's the operative word, face only, it's just the price action, that we could be in the 90K territory in, say, early or middle of 2022. But then what are the caveats? I mean, before you start ordering your Mercedes and stuff, what are the caveats? And one of the most important caveats is that only historical price action is considered. So, starting from 2016 going up to 2021. So essentially, it is the previous price trends which are being extrapolated. The problem with this algorithm and other algorithms is that its time series algorithm is that it's difficult to account for highly irregular price action, and the crypto space is highly volatile. So most machine learning models are going to struggle, and yes, even the deep learning models are going to struggle. Now, the biggest fly in the ointment of my analyses is that it does not account for exogenous factors. For example, this is just assuming that this is the price action, that is how things have been, it will go on to 90K. But what happens if Elon Musk posts a tweet, or there are regulatory crackdowns? And regulatory crackdowns have been happening since 2020. So then what? And it doesn't account for that. Now the thing is that markets in general, and the crypto market in particular, is heavily driven by sentiment. And how does one account for sentiment? Because be it technical analyses, be it forecasting, be it anything, investment and trading is a numbers game. It's a numbers game, I grant you that, but the numbers themselves are underpinned by human emotions of greed, of fear, of hope. And how do we account for that? And here I come to using tweets to capture Bitcoin market sentiment. The behavioral finance literature has found that investor sentiment has predictive ability for equity returns. So, yes, equity returns are underpinned by investor sentiment, and we saw that social media fueled frenzy can moved mountains, or rather total hedge funds. Example, the Reddit driven spike in GameStop prices that we saw earlier in 2021, it was pure sentiment at play. Text analytics and opinion or sentiment analyses mining find numerous applications in e-commerce, marketing, politics, and now you can see why. Now, sentiment analyses is the process of analyzing online pieces of writing to determine the emotional tone they carry, to basically identify if that online text, be it a tweet or a social media post, is it positive, negative, or neutral. And I personally carried out an examination of tweets relating to Bitcoins and Elon Musk's. These tweets, they come from London and Singapore. I collected them, I mined them over the past few weeks, and these are the sentiments related to tweets which talk about Bitcoin and Elon Musk, only from London and Singapore. So yes, Twitter is an excellent source for obtaining tweets relating to Bitcoin or any other topic. And sentiment analyses can help dig deep and quantify the underlying sentiment. And before continuing forward, I'd like to apologize for some shameless advertising, but here goes. I have a special offer for you. Buy one, get one course free. So you can buy my latest course on text analysis and natural language processing, and in which, by the way, I have covered these topics related to how would you actually go about obtaining the tweets I mentioned pertaining to Bitcoin or any other topic of your liking from London or even from New York, examining these and identifying what the sentiment is to begin with and carrying out other kinds of analyses. So all that is covered in my course, Text Analyses and Natural Language Processing with Python. It's on my courses on Udemy, and you can get it at 73% off. So right now, in the here and now, you can get it at 73% off. And just check out the descriptions for details, but the offer is only valid for 1 day, and if you buy this course you get my best-selling web scraping course for free. So this is it's a bestseller, Python web scraping for information retrieval and analytics. You get that for free, but only for the next 4 days. So this is your special offer, £15, well 73% off on this, and you can get this for free. So basically you get 2 courses at this price, and between the 2 of them they will equip you to harness the power of the internet, web pages, social media posts, and examine and analyze these data to identify trends and even make financial decision calls. So now let's talk about the bullish news, Bitcoin to the moon. So yes, one good thing in Bitcoin's favor is that history repeats itself, and Bitcoin has always rebounded. So despite it has always bounced. So it has gone through these steep retractions and corrections that we see, 86.9%, whatnot, but it has always bounced back to new highs. So that's just one reassuring thing about Bitcoins. And then we have experts. Again, you can check out these articles which say that Bitcoin could hit 100K, and again increasing institutional interest, governmental interest. It's turning in, I think they're going to use it as currency in El Salvador. So yes, Bitcoins and cryptos are going more and more mainstream, and there is positive news for other cryptos as well. Now the problem is that past performance is no indicator for the future, and there are still some naysayers, and it'll be worth your while to pay attention to what they say. So this is an investment firm. They believe that Bitcoin crash could happen and the price could go down to 10,000. And then we have this famous author Nassim Taleb. He's a statistician, and he says Bitcoin is worth 0 and it fails as a currency and a hedge. And again, this is a bold prediction to make, but between all of these trends, I guess it's social media remains a very good barometer of where Bitcoin price action could be going next. And my prediction, finally, I'm not a financial advisor, but my prediction is this: it's going to be a wild ride. Whether it goes down to $10,000 or goes up to $100,000 or even $1 million, it's going to be a wild ride. And yes, Twitter is your friend in this particular case.